Right, just my drop down rudder works a treat, love it. Had a couple little mods I had to do, took the O-ring off in there, put thread tape on, and then do it up tight, and then that doesn't move. Spread that gap apart a bit and put a bit hard to see, a nut in between there to hold apart, because I felt it was binding in there and getting stuck. And now it works a treat. It goes up and down as you like when you hit stuff. But I've got the old rudder, which I modified last time. I cut the bottom off it, it come down about another inch or so along here. But I'm now going to attempt to make a drop down rudder out of my old rudder with a bit of aluminium. So first I'm going to leave one side, the ribs on one side, and grind off the ribs off the other. And then we've got a bit of aluminium there, it's about 1.2 or something like that. Going to cut that to size and rig it up so it'll drop down and go back up. We'll see how we go. Just using a sanding disc and a grinder. So I got that ground down. Just left a little bit of meat on there only because the grinder couldn't get up there. Now going to, got me a bit of aluminium there, just going to hold it up to there and then mark it out on there, then cut it out. So we've got that cut out, rounded off the edges there because that's got a pivot from the bottom down. If you don't do that, it'll stay up there. So just hit them with the grinder as well. So that's fits nicely in there. Next step is to drill a hole down here in this bottom corner. It's going to be the pivot bolt. Little stainless steel bolt and nylock to hold that. There we go, so I got the bolt through there. We've used a M6 by 16mm with a nylock on there. Now, so you want that to come down somewhere around there, around the bottom of that one. So around about there. Get your pen. A bit hard to do this at the same time, but mark down there. Now there's the line there from the keel through there. You want to be just above there. Just mark a little spot there, and that's where you're going to drill your pilot hole through. So a little 1/8 bit for now, and that's going to stop that from dropping any further than that. So when we're done, it'll slide up and slide down to that point. Got the hole drilled, just a little 1/8 bit. Now just using a little screw, just a little self-tapper in there, and just so it butts up against the aluminium. Just make sure it's going through. Now I'm just going to use that as a bit of a scratch gauge. So yeah, where is it? From there, so that's where it is. Hard to do this one-handed. So up and down a few times. And then, there we go. Now, that's marked where that's going to go. So next step is to drill another hole there. Drill a few holes up there, and then we've got to cut that out. That's going to be a fun bit. File it out somehow. Don't know what's going to be easiest. But I'll work it out. A little bit bigger with... I've gone a little bit bigger with these holes. That's about 5mm drill bit, just drilling a series of them, and now I'm just going to, with the drill bit, ream that out. So I got that drilled and reamed out, not real pretty, could have done a better job, but yeah, just get in there and file that out. The next bit is to drop that on. Now you've got your 1/8 hole there, so yeah, get a self-tapping screw and come through from that side, fairly big one, and also probably put a decent washer on there as well. That'll just help this go up and down straight. So I'll get that on there. I've got that on there, self-tapper in there. Now that slides nice and smoothly. Now, the only drama I can see happening is it just got a bit of flex back here. So what I'm going to do is do exactly the same thing. Drop that down. I'm going to put another one there. So it's going to have two of them, one there and one there, and that should help keep it straight. I think even if you put one there, I think it'll bend a bit up there. So I think the two on there would be the go. But at the moment, it's working a treat. I see no reason why it can't be as good as the $80 drop-down rudders. There we go, did the second one, just repeated the same thing, and look at that, beautiful, and it keeps it straight. Like that should work a treat. And obviously when you hit the bottom, it just folds up. And because I've cut the bottom off the old one, that won't hang lower than the bottom of the kayak, so it's pretty much identical to that one now. If anything, it's a fraction longer. Not much in it. Rightio, got it on. Up and down, working a treat. We're going to take it for a run, see how it goes. Rightio, testing time. We'll go straight. Then we'll steer to the left. Wow, that's instant. Go straight again. Turn to the right. Absolutely instant. That is awesome. Wow, look at that go. Man, this works better than my $80 drop-down rudder. Super happy with that, super happy. Right again. That is instant, so good. Yeah, I'd highly recommend you do that. If you don't want to spend 80 bucks on a drop-down rudder, follow that little procedure I did. And you might want to use maybe, up to 2mm aluminium, but 1.5 or 1.2, whatever I use, seems to be working fine. And it works a treat. If anything, it's probably a little bit easier to steer than my drop-down rudder that I bought too. Gets a bit bindy if you do it up a little bit too tight. I use a bit of grease on it, but this is awesome. So in summing up, that was a absolute success, this thing. Yeah, so that's the $80 drop-down rudder. Don't get me wrong, works brilliant. But you do have to do a few little mods. I've got to spread that a bit wider. I put a nut in there, keep it spread wide. Sometimes it binds a bit. They give you an O-ring in there that can move a bit, so I put thread tape in there, wound heaps on and got that tight to keep it square. I also find I put a bit of grease on there when it goes through on the rubber, just to keep it lubed up. So there's still a few little things you got to do after you buy them, but works a treat. If you don't have the $80, but you know somebody with a bit of knowledge in fabricating stuff up and got the tools, this worked a treat. So basically, it's your original drop-down rudder. I chopped about 20 mil off the bottom of it, so it fits up under the bottom of the kayak. So if you hit a rock or drag it over sand, it doesn't hit. And then follow the steps that I did earlier. The gear you need is a grinder with a sanding flat disc. Just some snips, a little Nico, battery drill. I end up using about a 6mm drill bit to do that there. You need a file. You need a 1/8 drill bit too to mark your little pilot holes in there. You need M6s, 16mm, but get a nylock. That's for there. That's the pivot. And I think they're 4.2mm self-tapping screws. These are probably, I think these are like 18mm long, but you only sort of need 1/2 inch or 15mm, but they still work a treat. Going through the plastic there, like that was just with a 1/8 hole, so it's grabbing on like a nylock. You can put a bit of silicone on the thread there. That'll help it to stop it from undoing. But I don't think it will. It's a nice tight hold in there. But that works an absolute treat. I think, I don't know, so it looks about 1.2 aluminium. It's just thin enough to cut with the snips, but you're going any thicker, it'll be a bit tougher to cut with the snips, but you don't want it any thinner. I don't know what the total cost would be. If you know someone with a bit of aluminium lying around, the screws wouldn't cost much. It might only cost you for everything maybe $10, $15, and it's all done. And I was super impressed how it worked. It actually, for some reason, turns a bit tighter than that one. And highly advise doing it. Much better than the old original one because they got to get up and moving, and then it diverts the water under the hull. Where that's dropping down, it's a keel, it tracks straight, works miles better. All right, good luck with it.